Music sets the mood for your videos. Just like your amazing shots, lighting, and color grade, music adds style to your video and helps you connect to your audience at a deeper level. And you probably would have heard filmmakers say, music can make or break your videos. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So without wasting any time, I'm going to tell you tips that will help you select the perfect track for your videos and edit to the beat. Let's begin with the music selection process. So as soon as I'm back from the shoot, I add all my shots in the timeline and then I properly watch my footage. And then I'll open up another window with the music library in it and I'll play some tracks to see how they vibe with my shots. Now while you can begin with the music selection process just after you're done with your shoot, I always suggest that whenever possible, just browse through some tracks when you are in the planning or the scripting period and just keep these tracks handy on your phone. And on the shooting day, you can just listen to these tracks and these will set a tone for the shots that you're about to take. Either way, while you're selecting the song, you have to keep a few very important things in mind, like the tempo of the song. Basically, this represents the speed of the song. So if you want a fast or a snappy edit, you can't go with a tempo of like 75 beats per minute or 60 beats per minute. You might want to go for a higher tempo like 100 beats per minute or 120 beats per minute to fit your footage. Now the genre of the song also plays a very important role. Like a 1980s rock song would sound very different from like a classical music, or a pop song will give a completely different vibe for say a reggae music. So make sure while selecting the music that the genre complements your footages as well as the story that you want to tell. And the same applies to the mood and the instruments in the music. So for example, if you have a lot of people smiling in the video, you might want to take a music that is like kind of a happy mood or a laid back mood. But if the people are like more serious in terms of expressions in the video, you might want to select a sentimental or a dramatic music depending on the video. Some websites also provide you with stem tracks for individual instruments for your videos, so you can choose what instruments you want to keep and which ones you want to remove. Now let's come to the do nots of selecting music tracks. So say you have a dialogue in your video or a voiceover, or it's a talking video just like this one. You want to make sure that the background music doesn't have a lot of lyrics or vocals in it. Now what this will do is it will create a mess in your audio mix and your audience will be distracted because all of the overlapping voices that they'll be hearing, and they won't be able to focus on the story that you're trying to tell. Also make sure that when there is a talking part going on, the background music is not overpowering your voice. Now let's talk about sound effects. So music sets a style and mood for your videos. But to give the audience a more immersive experience, you can't skip on sound effects. Now a few types of sound effects that you can go for are ambient sounds. So these can be busy street markets or cafes. Then you can go for specific sounds like a bus horn or waves hitting the shore of the beach. Or you can use something like a whoosh sound to make your transitions feel more real and impactful. Now obviously these effects will enhance the experience of your viewers, but remember that it's a stylistic choice, so you don't have to use them, but make sure that whenever you do, make it subtle and don't overdo it. By the way, before moving ahead, we would highly recommend you to not use copyrighted music because it could land you into all kinds of trouble. Instead, just check out this list of top 8 free websites that we've put together where you can find your music. Not just that, but if you're using InVideo, you can find the inbuilt audio library that has thousands of tracks categorized by mood and genre that you can use for free. Now let's get to editing. I'm going to be using the InVideo's timeline for reference, but you can apply the same editing techniques to any editing platform that you use. For the tutorial purpose, I'm going to use these 5 shots that I've uploaded on the InVideo platform. Now since the shots have people in a happy mood, I would also go for a nice pop happy mood song from the InVideo library. While selecting music, I will also look for some kind of build up in the song. For example, it can have an amazing drop after the verse. So once we've added music on the timeline, we see these audio waveforms, and these waveforms represent the structure and the volume of the music track. So basically there are 2 ways to go forward. Either you can edit to the beats of the music, or alternatively, if the music has no beats or the beats are yet to start, you can edit to the melody or the vocals or lyrics of the music track. So here's how editing to the vocals or the melody sounds like.
Freezing outside, a little bit high on the feeling, can't seem to focus.
Now, even if you're editing to the beat, you have to keep in mind the melody of the music as well as the song structure, and you can do this by listening to the music track a few times before starting the edit to really understand its flow. I usually edit to either the bass kick or the snare drum. Now the bass kick sounds like this, and the snare drum sounds something like this. But you can be creative on which beats you want to put your edits on, and this highly depends on the music track as well. Now, as you can see here in the beginning of the song, I have added a drone shot, and as the first beat hits, which you can even see by the representation in the waveform, so usually when the beat hits, there will be a slight spike in the audio waveform, which can be a visual guide for you while placing your cuts. So I will make sure that the drone shot ends here by dragging this clip, and then I'll place my next clip right after the drone shot. I would highly suggest you to use some kind of headphones or earphones to precisely figure out the beats, as you want the cuts to land right when the beat hits. Now I will continue to do this process for our next few clips. And as you can see, the footages sync with the flow of the music. Now when it comes to the length of the clips, you can keep them extended for like 2 beats if you want a faster and snappy edit, or you can extend your cuts to a whole bar. In musical language, 1 bar is 4 beats in most songs, so you can keep them extended to 1 whole bar or maybe 2 bars depending on what style you are going for in the video. You can even experiment with the length of the clips depending on the song structure and where you are in that song. For example, if the song has a slow intro, I would extend my clips to like 8 beats or 4 beats, and as the song proceeds into the drop, which is more exciting and fast, I would also place faster edits by making cuts every 1 or 2 beats. And that's how you can find and use the perfect track for your videos. If this is something you found useful, or if you have any feedback, we'd love to learn from you, so make sure you drop them in the comments below. And if you'd like to learn more about 2021's top free websites for stock footage and music, you can check out these videos on your screen. This is Monish with InVideo, and I will see you in the next one.